All right, so altcoins, right. Everyone's talking about them, this whole pump cycle thing.
Yeah, it's definitely got that buzz going around.
It does. And I get it, the potential gains, that's exciting. But honestly, crypto can feel like, I don't know, a freaking hurricane if you're not careful.
Absolutely, yeah, it moves fast.
So that's why we're diving in, right? We've got this article, Next Altcoin Pump and Strategic Picks. Hopefully our life preserver for this deep dive.
Love it. And yeah, what we're seeing in the market right now, it's
Yeah.
definitely signs pointing to a potential like big shift, which, for altcoins could be huge.
Okay, so less like dipping our toes in the water, more like grabbing a surfboard and hoping we know how to use it.
Laugh slightly. Maybe a little bit.
Before we even get to the surfboard, though, we got to break down this whole pump cycle thing because honestly, it sounds kind of infomercially to me sometimes. Like, get rich quick with this one weird crypto trick.
I hear you. There's definitely some hype out there.
Yeah.
But it's not just tea hype. Think of it like a surge of buying all focused on altcoins.
Okay, so real market forces at play, not just, internet hype.
Right, exactly. And those forces, they're not random. There are things driving them. Like one thing this article points to is the decline in what's called USDT dominance.
USDT. All right, hold on. Time for a quick vocab lesson, maybe. For those of us who haven't quite memorized every crypto acronym
Of
yet.
course. So USDT, that's Tether, is basically a stablecoin pegged to the US dollar, right?
Stablecoin meaning it's supposed to be like the calm one in the corner while everything else is going crazy.
Exactly. When things feel risky, people pile into USDT, right? Stability, safety. It's like the hide under the bed asset of the crypto world.
Makes sense. So if USDT dominance is dropping, that means people are feeling, what, bolder? Like they're ready to come out from under that bed?
Exactly. They're moving funds OUT of that safe haven and back into things that are, let's say, riskier,
Huh.
like altcoins. And that influx of cash, that's what creates the pump.
Oh, okay. So it's like a giant game of crypto hot potato, but with, actual money at stake.
I was not chuckles.
That does sound kind of exciting, but also kind of terrifying at the same time, right? Especially if you're new to this whole game and don't want to get, like, completely burned.
Right. It's not just about riding the wave. It's about riding it strategically. And the article, it does emphasize that risk management is key why, especially if you're new. One thing they talk about is market squeezes. Imagine a wave, right? Crests up really high, but then...
Surges down hard.
Exactly. That's a squeeze. The price of an altcoin goes way up fast, but then often crashes down just as fast.
Okay, so we're talking about the classic buy low, sell high dilemma, but on, like, warp speed. How do you even time that?
It is fast-paced, but there are ways to manage that risk. The article talks about setting what are called stop-loss orders.
Stop loss. See, now that sounds like one of those terms that makes people go, oh, yeah, I totally know what that means. But secretly, they're like, wait, someone define that real quick.
It's like a safety net for your investments. Basically, you're telling the trading platform, if the price of this drops below this point, sell my stuff automatically.
Got it. So it's like a financial eject button.
Exactly. It helps to limit your potential losses, even if you misjudge the market.
Okay, see, that makes me feel a little better about this whole riding the wave thing. But timing is still key, right? You've got to find the promising altcoins before they potentially, like, shoot to the moon during a pump. And everyone's talking about AI these days. So is that just hype, or could AI be the thing that drives the next altcoin pump?
That's a great question, Anna. You're onto something with the AI connection. The article actually points to AI as a major driver in this whole potential pump. And it makes sense, right? We're not talking about just like fancy chatbots here. This is a tech shift that could change, well, everything.
Okay, I'm officially intrigued. So if someone's listening and thinking, all right, I want to ride this AI-powered altcoin wave, where do I even start? What are some of the names, the projects that are looking promising?
Two in particular stood out to me. Fetch.ai, ticker symbol FET, and then there's The Graph, that's GRT. Both of these are showing what we call weekly breakouts. That's a good indicator of upward momentum.
Breakouts? Sounds kind of like an action movie, honestly. What's that mean in the, actual investing world?
Okay, so imagine a coin. Its price has been kind of stuck, right? A breakout is when the price breaks through that pattern, and it does it with volume. Like the market is waking up and noticing something.
So it's not just some, like, random blip. It's a signal that something bigger might be happening.
Precisely. Yeah. And that's what we're seeing with Fetch.ai and The Graph. What's cool about these is they're not just abstract concepts. They've got real-world uses that could totally change how we use data, how we use tech, all of it.
All right, you've got my attention. Let's break them down, starting with Fetch.ai. What makes this one stand out?
So Fetch.ai, it's all about building a network, right? But it's a decentralized network, and it's made up of these autonomous AI agents. Basically, imagine a future where your devices, they can talk to each other, make decisions, no humans needed. Like your car could find the cheapest parking spot, pay for it, even find you a charging station if you need it, all by itself.
Wow. Okay, so it's like the AI is handling all the little details, all the things we hate doing, so we can just, I don't know, relax, enjoy the ride.
Exactly. It's about making our lives easier, more efficient through AI.
I like it.
Okay.
So that's fetch.ai. What about the graph? How does that fit into this whole decentralized future thing?
So the graph is tackling a different problem, but it's just as important. Think about all the information out there, right? In the decentralized world, organizing that, accessing it, that's crucial.
Okay, so if fetch.ai is like building the brains, is the graph building the library?
Perfect analogy. It's creating a way to index and query all that blockchain data so developers can easily find and use the information they need to build all those cool decentralized apps.
It's like the Google of blockchain, making sure everything is organized and findable.
Exactly. It's about making the decentralized web faster, more user-friendly, and the fact that both of these, Fetch.ai and the graph, they're showing this upward movement, these breakouts, during what could be a pump cycle. Well, that's what makes them really interesting to keep an eye on.
Right, because this isn't just about understanding the tech, it's about understanding how the market might value that tech, right? And I gotta say, this is a lot to wrap your head around, even for me, and I do this every day. So where do you even start if you're new to all this, especially with a potential pump cycle coming? Like, is it too late to get in the game?
Not at all. But yeah, jumping in blind, that's never a good idea.
Agreed.
The article, it actually offers some pretty solid advice. They talk about having two portfolios, a bull market one and then a separate trading portfolio.
Right.
Your bull market portfolio, that's your long-term strategy, right? Slow and steady. But the trading portfolio, that's where you can get a little more active.
Okay, two portfolios, two different approaches. I like it. So break it down for us, starting with the bull market approach. What does that look like for altcoins?
So with the bull market portfolio, you're looking for those promising altcoins early, right? Like we were talking about, Fetch.ai, the graph, those types.
Yeah.
You ride the waves as the market hopefully goes up, and you just accumulate gains over a longer time period.
So less about trying to like perfectly time the market, more about having that long-term vision, patience, basically.
Exactly. In the article, it emphasizes spot positions for this.
Spot positions. See, there's another one of those terms. For the newbies out there, spot just means you're buying the cryptocurrency outright. No fancy financial stuff.
You got it. Straightforward ownership. It's generally considered lower risk, which fits with the whole bull market philosophy. Long-term growth, stability, that's the focus.
Got it. Long-term spot positions, got it. But what about that other portfolio, the trading one? That's where it gets more like high speed. Right.
Now you're talking. The trading portfolio, that's where you can get into the nitty-gritty, try to take advantage of that volatility, maybe using leverage, making shorter-term trades, really trying to ride those price swings. But it does mean being ready to adjust, you know? You need to be paying attention.
So less like planting a tree and watching it grow, more like surfing. You got to be skilled, adaptable, and maybe a little bit of a daredevil.
Precisely. You need the right tools, the right knowledge. And the article mentions things like sniper school, communities where traders share strategies, learn from each other.
Sniper school. Okay, that sounds kind of intense. Are we like training for crypto warfare now?
It's not quite that serious, but you get the idea. It's about connecting with other traders, especially more experienced ones, and learning from their successes and, yeah, maybe even their mistakes.
So less going it alone, more finding your trading crew, your people.
Exactly. And they talk about tools, too, that can help. One that stood out to me was the idea of liquidation maps.
Liquidation maps. Okay, now I'm definitely picturing like a treasure map, but for crypto. What are those and why should I care?
Okay, so imagine you're driving and you see one of those signs, showing you where the traffic is backed up ahead.
Right, like warning you before you get stuck.
It's kind of like that, but for traders. It shows you where large groups of them have set their stop-loss orders.
Right, those financial eject buttons we were talking about before.
Yep. Knowing where those are clustered, it can give you a heads up about potential market moves. It's like anticipating a wave before it crashes.
That's kind of wild. So you're like seeing where people might panic sell before it even happens.
In a way, yeah. Understanding the psychology of the market, not just the numbers, that's a powerful thing.
I'm starting to realize this is way more than just like charts and graphs. It's almost like, I don't know, it's alive, this market.
It really is. Dynamic, unpredictable, constantly changing, and that's what makes it so exciting. But also, yeah, a little intimidating.
I'm telling you, we could talk about this stuff for
Oh,
hours.
for sure. There's always more to learn.
But that's what makes it so interesting, right? This whole world of altcoins, blockchain, AI, I feel like everyone's waiting to see what happens next.
And that's a key point, right? The article really stresses this. It's not about getting rich quick,
Though, let's be real, that'd be a nice bonus.
of course, but it's about, like, the bigger picture, understanding how this tech could change.
Yeah.
Everything.
Oh, finance, data, how we interact with, like, the physical world even.
Exactly. It's about being part of something with real impact.
Even if it does feel a little bit like, I don't know, the Wild West out there sometimes.
A little bit, yeah, but that's part of the fun, right? And that's why you got to keep learning.
Things change so fast in this space.
Oh, absolutely. New trends pop up every day. There's always something new to discover.
So for someone listening to this right now and they're feeling maybe a little overwhelmed, which is understandable, but also excited, what's your biggest piece of advice? Where should they focus their energy as they, get their feet wet in this altcoin world?
Don't get caught up in the hype. I mean, yeah, the potential's there, but
Yeah.
focus on the research, manage the risk.
Remember those two portfolios? Bull market and the trading one.
Exactly. Balance is key, especially when you're starting out.
Like having a map, A and D, a compass, right? You got to know where you're going, but also be ready for anything.
And hey, don't be afraid to ask for help, right? Communities like that sniper school we talk about, that can be huge.
Mind your people, learn from the pros, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Makes
Yep.
all the difference.
So as we wrap up here, altcoins, pump cycles, AI, it's a lot, but the main takeaway I think is this. It's an incredible opportunity, but like with anything worthwhile, you got to be prepared.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Do your research, find your people, and hey, maybe invest in a good helmet, because those market dips, they happen.
Chuckles lightly.
But who knows, with how fast things are moving, this might just be the beginning, right? The tip of the iceberg for what altcoins can do.
That's the exciting part.
It really is. All right, on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive. Until next time, everyone, happy trading.